Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of our Master Photo Techniques. Today we are in my printing room, which is why I often am reminded about the way it used to be. Today we're all printing digitally. I'm sure you have a desktop printer, and maybe you have an even larger one like the one I'm going to show you here today in our studio. I want to take you through the process and the techniques and the tips that may make your printing better and easier. So now we're in my printing area. Now you can print easily from different machines with the appropriate software. I'm going to be using Canon's interface for their inkjet printers, the ProGraph they call it. And I've made a document, which I use every day, that is 17 by 22 inches, because that's the size paper I normally use. Because there's some space here, I'm going to throw on some extra tests. I'll just grab a piece of a photo that I need to print, and I'll make a first test on it. Paste that in there, and then another one as well. Grab a piece of this. That way we don't waste ink and paper. So I've pasted a couple of little tests in here. I'll scale them to fit my available paper. That's good. There's another one back there. I think this is it. Grab it and get that out of there and shrink it down a little bit. I do need these other two items that are on the page, but I just want to get a preview of the color on these guys. So that's now ready. I'm going to do the Canon interface here, and I go to export, and it's going to be to the IPF 6300 printer, and it will give me that interface. I'm already set for the paper size, the profile I want, the quality, everything that I need set is already set. You can also go to other pages, change your quantities and other things, but this is the main page I'm working on. I'm going to hit, send, select, OK, and it's going to begin sending to the printer. It's spooling right now. The next thing we'll do is we'll get the printer ready for paper right here. So it's already waking up and it's ready for printing. Load the paper. Now if we step back, we can see the whole printer. This is a 24-inch Canon, and it runs roll paper or sheet. It's got lots of inks, 12 inks. And it also has a catch bin here for the sheets or rolls. And it's asking me to load the paper, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Here we go. Stick this in here. We've already set our guides for 17 by 22. Load the paper, and it is rolling. This will only take 5 minutes at the most to print this equivalent of 4 8x10s. As we've been working on this particular layout, just a page, 1722, I showed you that I was going to put a couple other tests in there. So I'm going to pop them open here and grab a couple of images that have been retouched and are now ready. These are some model and student images from my most recent seminar. And though they are already touched up, there will be a final tuning before they get printed. So let's just take a couple of these images for just kind of a batch test. All right, and we'll put them on that layout, which will help us to get them tuned. Let's just take a little piece of the image, copy, and paste it on the sheet. Go get another one. Very nice. Copy and close and paste it on the sheet. Something we do quite a bit. And maybe one or two more. The color looks good to me, so let's see how it comes out. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put all those into a tiny clipping size, transform them down. All right, and then we are going to Move them about just to fill in the dead space up here. All right, here we go on the layout. Come on, you. Sometimes these touchpads don't always react well. Let me just turn that one about. So there we have tests ready to go to the printer. So any kind of job that you have to print, whether it is portraits, canvas, Christmas cards, senior announcements, anything like that, you can always test it yourself. And I'd recommend highly that you too check it against your clipboard. That always works. Now I've used fancy rips before. I think we used image print for a while, but it turns out we didn't really need to maintain that because we already have all of our settings for black and white, sepia, and we didn't need to print packages, so that was unnecessary for us. However, by comparing your test to your clipboard, you'll get better results from the outside lab and from your own printer. Now, if you have a Canon or other brand or Epson, you're going to have a good driver that will allow you to put the proper profile for your paper into it, therefore guaranteeing success. Okay, from here, even though these are full size, I see that there's some defect there. I don't know if I had another file laying over it, but these serve as tests. And I've got to correct this for final printing. The headshot's pretty much done. These two new pieces, this is their very first test. I'll have to make corrections of density, contrast, color, and I'll put 2 more test strips on my next sheet because I'm sure I'll have to finally print them again, and on it I'll stick a little piece of everything that I need to print. Utilizing your printing in-house most efficiently means making tests until you're ready to make the final. So I can print on these size papers, or I can go larger. It'll hold 8.5, 11 and smaller, but that's kind of a pain because there's always enough work to print something on. The very next job can be tested. So that's one of the success ingredients with having your own printer, is utilizing all the free space in the layout. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. We'd love to hear from you. We thank you for being with us today on Tim Kelly's Master Photo Techniques.